doing? And welcome to Neither Real Music. I'm Ed. This is Just Play It, a song series dedicated to learning and breaking down songs so that you could become a better player and learn them for the future. If you've been following along, we've been working on Blue Monk by Thelonious Monk. This is a practice solo that you can use to help develop your skills for playing. To those of you who've joined me here on Patreon, I'm going to be going through a complete breakdown on the correlation between the scales I used and the chords for the song. First, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the solo at half speed, and then you're going to hear how it interacts with the chords. Then we're going to do the solo at full speed, and you can hear that also with the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. For this solo, I wanted to take all of our phrasing and help make them correspond with the chords that we used for substitutions, helping bring those chords into focus and making the song sound more interesting. So with our first chord, B flat major 7, to our second chord, E flat major 7, I decided to write a phrase that would travel between the two ideas. So I'm starting here on B flat, and then utilizing some ideas from a basic Ionian scale. From right here, I jump right to the note E flat so that I can finish the phrase. So when you put those two ideas together, they sound like one little scale pattern, one little idea. However, I'm going from B flat major 7 to E flat major 7 with the solo itself. Supporting the chord change with the lick. Next up is our G minor 7 chord, going to D minor 7, going to B flat 7. Going to E flat major 7. This is one long idea broken into two parts. So with the G minor 7, I decide to basically arpeggiate the idea. With a little bit of scale work to help out. I also decided to end on the note D to help bring that D minor 7 chord into focus. From here, I decide to play a little pattern that also works with our B flat 7 using a B flat Mixolydian scale. Right there, once again, I end on my E flat, reinforcing the idea that E flat major 7 coming after the B flat 7 chord. This way, my lines always reinforce my chord patterns. You shouldn't just haphazardly write a solo. Your solo really should directly impact the chord change that's going on. In jazz, this is a little bit more difficult because there's often a lot of chords. However, in rock music, many of the times, they'll stick with a simple riff. They'll repeat that riff a number of times and go to a different riff, or they'll just end the song. This way, you really only have to use one or two ideas to support the riff and the chord that is being outlined by that riff. As we go into our next sequence, I have C minor 7 to G minor 7. And what I did here was decide to use a little rhythmic pattern and a 16th note system. So I have 1 E and I'm playing this with hammer-ons. It could be plucked, but it's up to you. Now this last part gives a good syncopation to help bring a little rhythmic idea into what we're doing. Then I add in these last two notes. So what's happening here is I'm using a C melodic minor concept mixed with the C natural minor concept. So it's the difference between or. So there's a one note difference. It goes by so fast that you never really notice it though. So from here, all I'm doing is outlining a G minor blues scale. It's a pretty easy concept, and it's taken directly out of the pattern itself. So this way you don't really have to drive yourself too nuts working it out. So from here, we have another B flat major 7 idea, and then we're going to be coming up on the end of the song. So I took and I wrote a very small pattern that mixes B flat Lydian with B flat Ionian. So I have my sharp 4 that I can use. Sounds like The Simpsons. And then as I continue the pattern, I decide to end it on the standard 4 from the Ionian scale. But it gives a good little chromatic tonality to the system. As we come to the end, the chords that I decided to use are what really make this stand out. So we have an F7 as a dominant chord, and an A minor 7 flat 5 as the other dominant chord. So one's the 5 in the key of B flat, and the other one's the 7 in the key of B flat. So in any case, what I decided to use was an F mixolydian scale for the first idea, with triplets and a basic 8th note idea at the end. And from here, I use the same rhythmic idea, using an A Locrian concept. Now this chord stands out. G minor 7 flat 5 over B flat. This is a mocked tonic. G minor would be our relative minor tonic in the key of B flat. I didn't want to just strictly go to G minor, so I used the flat 5 to help create a little bit more of a dominant effect on a tonic chord, allowing me to go from this chord and feel like I got to where I needed to go as far as the song is concerned, but still create enough tension that when I switched to B flat major 7, you heard a little bit of a dominant idea going to tonic. So when we hear these chords one after the other, they make a lot of sense. F7, A minor 7 flat 5, G minor 7 flat 5 over B flat to regular B flat major 7. So once again, on our last idea, I decided to outline the G minor 7 flat 5 idea. Trying to focus on chord tones with a little bit of a Locrian concept to it. And here, all I'm doing is outlining our B flat major 7. So that's just an arpeggio of a B flat major 7 chord, but instead of playing it string by string, I decided to play it note by note, making it more of a melodic concept. So when we put those last two phrases together, they sound like this. When practicing solos, it usually breaks down into two basic concepts. Two reasons why you're learning the solo. First is to copy the solo exactly so that you can learn how to use it in a cover band. Let's say you're doing a Van Halen cover band. People are going to know most of those solos pretty well, and you want to try to get as close as possible to the original solo without changing it too much. For me, learning solos and creating solos to practice is more about concepts, so that when I go into the studio and I see new music, or if I want to work on lead sheets for jazz, I could create my own solo, similar to like what they did in the bebop era, where they took a chord change that was a very recognizable chord change, like a blues chord change, and then they wrote a melodic solo that became useful in itself and ultimately became a melody all on its own, creating a new song. Whatever your reasons for practicing solos, remember to take them slow and break them down idea by idea so that you can get the nuances to each section of the solo down, learning the rhythm, learning the timing, and then you could experiment with it to make it sound more interesting. Now what we're going to do is hear the solo with the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do is practice the song at full speed. This way you have an opportunity to play it the way that I arranged it, and also to get more comfortable with getting faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's check out that song along with the chords so you can hear how everything correlates with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really hope ideas like this are something you enjoy working on. If you do, please remember to subscribe and ring the bell so that you know when your next lesson is coming. If you want to learn more about this solo and its context, join me on Patreon, where I go into a lot more depth with this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I do enjoy compliments, but questions let me know that you're working on these things. Good luck and good practice.